Hey guys, it's Jessica here. I am a corporate recruiter and I've been working in the field for about 7 years now. I am just going to be ranting in this video, kind of. I've been doing a lot of phone interviews and they've been across the board as far as what positions I'm actually recruiting for. Some have been factory worker positions, some have been corporate positions, some have been more like commercial, more sales, marketing positions. And okay, so phone interviews, there's like best practices that come in handy for phone interviews. And when those best practices are not used, it gets really annoying for the recruiter. Let me tell you what I mean. So I've had a couple of interviews where the person just did not prepare for a conversation by phone with me. So what happened? Well, there were a couple instances this week, and the first one was that the person was not in a place where they had good phone reception. So the phone call kept dropping. Now, when you have a phone interview, there's a set time frame where you're going to talk to the recruiter. So beyond that time, they may have other meetings going on. You may have something else going back. You may have to go back to work. You may have whatever going on where you need to literally just talk in that time frame and move on. Well, phone interviews are typically 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Sometimes they're a little shorter. You may have like a 15-minute call, but you're going to know how long your phone interview will be in most cases ahead of time. The recruiter will tell you, hey, be prepared for this phone conversation. It's going to be 30 minutes. Okay, well, you choose a date, a time for the interview. So you know well in advance. Okay, this person did not have good reception. So the call was dropping. And after asking, hey, there better time for you to talk? No, this is the perfect time to talk. Well, I can't hear you, so if the phone keeps dropping, we're gonna have to pick another time. This person proceeds to continue to move forward with this phone conversation, and they're in a place where they don't have good reception. They tell me that, oh yeah, I don't have good reception here. Well, why didn't you go to a place where you had better reception or pick a better time when you could? Okay, just a tip here, don't do that. And if you are in a situation where you're having bad phone reception, do not tell the recruiter, oh yeah, I always have bad phone reception here. It just shows you're not prepared. Okay, fast forward to the next phone conversation I had. This person is saying things all off the wall, just random things. They just seem off. They seem a little off. They proceed to tell me that they were taking allergy medicine, and they were actually yawning throughout the call. They were doing all of this during the phone interview. Well, they had taken allergy medicine. Come on, do not take medicine before an interview unless you have to. It was on a day that their allergies are really going off. Just reschedule. If you have something going on health-wise, reschedule the phone interview, because you don't want to put yourself in a bad light if you are maybe taking a medicine that's going to make you drowsy and you're yawning the whole time, or you're just not thinking clearly. Just reschedule the interview. Just a tip for if you have a face-to-face interview or a phone interview. I get it. Yes, it can come across a little bit like, oh, they're rescheduling, recruiters understand this. Sometimes recruiters have to reschedule calls as well because maybe a meeting got changed. And we know that you may have something in your life, personal life, work life, that may cause you to reschedule. Now, one time rescheduling, great. Rescheduling more than that, not so great. The next one. This is my last rant. So this person just didn't think about their surroundings before talking with me for their phone interview. So if you have a phone interview, here's my tip. Make sure you're in a place where there's not a lot of background noise. Obviously, if you're talking on the phone and you're in a place where there are people in the background talking, or there's construction or whatever is going on, if you can hear it, we can hear it. And it's going to be amplified when we're on the phone with you. Like, we're going to be distracted to the point where we're like going to see you in a negative light in most cases, because of the fact that it seems like you didn't prepare for a place where you could have a quiet conversation. I get it. Sometimes you're in an environment where maybe you work in a factory, maybe you work in a call center, maybe it's just, a place where it's really hard to get maybe a room, or it's hard to, maybe you're in a place where you don't have a car and you can't go to your car and talk. You need to plan for maybe an early morning or an afternoon conversation, because here's what happened. So there's all kinds of background noise. I address that, say, hey, I can't really hear you so well. I hear a lot of background. Is this still a good time to talk? They proceed to say, great time to talk. Okay. So the entire time I was distracted and couldn't hear that person completely. So I'm telling them to repeat things. It just wasn't a good phone interview. The other person, I could tell, was distracted when answering questions. So they weren't able to be very effective in their interview either. And the phone interview is the first time that we're able to see anything of a person beyond what we saw on a resume. A great time to sell yourself, great time to just kind of put your best self forward and get us on your team and get us to a place where we're like really interested in you and ready to move forward in the process with the job opportunity. When a candidate is not, and I put myself here as well, like if I'm preparing for a phone interview, these are things that I need to consider as well. But when a candidate is in a place where they don't have good reception, if they have a lot of background noise, if they are telling me, oh, I took some medicine today, or I had this going on today and I just decided to get on the phone anyway, it just makes it look like you're not making good decisions, and also that you're not really serious about the job and would not prepare well for a face-to-face interview. If you're not going to prepare for a phone interview with me, how can I put you in front of the hiring team for a face-to-face interview where you're really going to have to prepare for meeting with the hiring team and really selling yourself? So anyway, just a rant here. It's tough for me because I am always on a candidate's side initially. I want you to do great. I want whoever I'm talking to ace the phone interview. I want them to be prepared, feel comfortable. I am on your side, like especially if I'm hearing certain things, I'm hearing kind of the potential, I'm hearing that it will be a great fit for you. Maybe it will be a better situation where you are right now. I'm on your team, but when you don't prepare, there's only so much I can do. So anyway, just a couple tips of things to not do and to do for your phone interview, because again, it's your first opportunity to present yourself well. And when you are unprepared and when you do things like that, there's not much I can do in return. So anyway, again, a really quick rant video Sorry for not into ranting, but these are really things that happen on the recruiter side. And I feel like candidates should understand that we're on your team, but you have to meet us halfway. You have to prepare and you have to show that you're interested in the job. Don't make it harder on us because, I mean, we have a number of candidates that we're talking to. And so if we have a mediocre call, well, guess what? You're not going to move forward in the process. So help me help you. Prepare for the conversation. Do those small things like making sure that you are in a place that you can talk, in a quiet place where it would be a, professional kind of conversation. Okay, I'm done ranting, I think. Thanks for listening. I don't know if this is helpful for someone. I just wanted to get it off my chest, and maybe help some people in the process when thinking about a phone interview, some things to consider. So, again, make sure you're in a quiet place. Make sure you actually have tested out your reception. Obviously, sometimes you don't know, but when you hear things like, oh, I always have bad reception here, you know that it's not not something that they really thought about in preparing for the phone conversation. So think about that. And then also just think about yourself, like things that you're going to do as a part of that day that make you comfortable for your phone interview. Make sure that you are healthy and that you're not on any kind of medication that would cause you to act differently than how you normally would, and not really be effective in your interview. Keep in mind background noise, whether it's background noise from you or it's background noise just from your environment. Be sure to be in a place where it's quiet, that you can actually have a decent conversation. Anyway, okay, I'm done. Done ranting. Hope you have a great day. Thanks for listening. Bye.